You can eat and we can film, although some people might be irritated by that. But I'm mostly irritated by you anyway. That's probably not a good thing to say right as we're about to shoot a video on working as a couple. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
We are Mac.
And Jose.
And this is Upper Country Farms.
Mm.
So, oh, there it is right there, written above our heads, behind our heads. We are a 20-acre market farm up here in the beautiful Upper Peninsula of Michigan. And today we're going to do something a little different than we normally do. I think in the beginning we tried to do more educational videos, but we're too busy farming to do too many educational videos. Mostly it's just us farming.
Yeah, we are in the middle of the winter, so...
And it is snowing very hard outside right now.
Yeah.
If it's snowing when we're done, I'll make Jose go out and get a little bit of footage of how hard it's snowing out. We want to start doing a few educational videos though, because we have time right now with how cold it is outside and we're not doing very much. I am seeding a few trays right now, getting us ready for season, but nothing that takes more than an hour a week.
Yeah.
So we have, today we're going to do a really nice video on farming with your spouse. Or it could be farming with a boyfriend or girlfriend, farming with a partner. I think it all works out about the same. But farming with a spouse can create some specific issues.
Yeah.
And I think we want to talk about that here today. And because we've been doing it now 5 years and we haven't, well, we're coming on our 6th season. We haven't injured each other.
Not yet.
At all. We work really well together. I feel like we are a great team. I hope that shows in our, the outward on our videos, in our farming practices.
Yeah.
But we do keep things pretty interesting around here. Okay, so this is going to be 6 practices you need to follow to... Did you just hold up 6 fingers? Mm-hmm. Wow. He's so great. He really supports the things I'm saying. 6 practices that we think will help keep the partnership, the marriage strong while you're farming. So the first thing is to have, and I think is the most important, is to have a shared vision with your partner. Jose and I have done a lot of planning in the very beginning and then along the way on what this farm is going to look like.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So that includes, first of all, what kind of farm is it going to be? Mm-hmm. There are so many different things you can do farming. You can do meat, you could do mixed vegetables, like a smaller market farm. You could do both, which is what we're trying to do. Mm-hmm. You can do meat birds, eggs, flowers, which is something you're very interested in. Mm-hmm. We've been doing some negotiation because Jose would really love to be doing more flower farming.
Just like a hobby. It's not like I want to take your business.
But we need to create him a spot because he really does enjoy. I love flowers too. It's just finding the time to be able to do that. Then what is your income going to look like? Like, how are you going to make money? We know a lot of couples who farm. One of the couples works off farm.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And one of them works on farm full time. Mm-hmm. So that can be an option. So now, are you going to be going to farmers markets? Are you going to be doing like a membership farm? Are you going to be doing wholesale? What's that going to look like? Because somebody has to be out there doing the sales. Yeah. Somebody has to be going to the farmers markets. So you have to have an idea of how your farm is going to bring in that money. Yeah. So somebody working off farm, or what other venues are you going to be utilizing? And then how are you going to be spending that money? And computer stuff for Jose. One of the things is in any marriage is money. Financial problems can create even bigger problems. Yeah. So how is that money getting spent? For example, Jose and I, we are very clear that most of our money goes back into the farm at this point. We don't take out much money, basically just to cover our living expenses.
Yeah, we in our investment and growing more.
Yeah, like, our infrastructure. Yeah, that's very important to us. This farm is really the center of our lives. And that won't be correct for all couples. That's why it's important that you set up the vision. How many hours a week do you and your spouse want to be working? That's very important. Jose and I, during the main season, and that I consider that July, August, well, probably mid-July, August, September, and part of October, there is almost no free time. It's 3 months of straight work.
Yeah.
And we are both very clear that that's just the way it is. We spend a lot of time together during the off season, making sure that we're building the relationship and reconnecting as a couple, because during those 3 months, we do not see very much of each other despite working side by side all day long on different projects.
Yeah, because in the morning I take one project and she does other thing.
Yeah.
And by the end of the day, hi, how are you?
We do, though, and we'll talk about this a little bit further, we do create time for each other, and we usually sit down and have a beer at some point on the busiest, hottest days of the year. That's really our time together.
Yeah.
And I mean, we really like it. It's really relaxing. We can talk. We can sit and look at all the hard work we've done.
Oh, yeah.
This place is so beautiful during season, and when you're busy, you may not notice all of that. So yeah, I think it's very important to be clear on what your work day is going to look like. It probably becomes even more important if you have children.
Oh, yeah.
Which we don't have, just cats.
Yeah. Technically our...
Technically there are children, yes. But we don't have real children. Oh, the other one, employees versus no employees.
Yeah.
This can be a big one. When we first started farming, we had another farmer tell us that one farmer can run about 40 beds, two together, maybe 70. We are running 160 beds here. I don't do well when somebody tells me I can't do something or that something has to look a certain way. Now, if we wanted to have a normal life during the middle of season, we would probably have to cut it back a little bit.
Yeah.
We also do have Betsy that works with us part-time. And I don't think we could do 160 beds without her.
No.
She handles all of like seeding the trays and a little bit of the harvesting.
Yeah, she is the manager of the germination room.
Yeah. But bringing in employees creates a different dynamic for the marriage than if you didn't have employees. Because now you are managing another person. The thing I think it does do is it helps you develop more clarity around the farm and the things that need to happen, because that person has to have structure.
Yeah.
One of the things you want to be careful is that, you know, you're on some level keeping that employee out of the relationship. You don't want it to become, you know, where you're talking bad about the other partner to the employee, which I think is very easy, or eye rolling or a lot of those things. So yeah, you got to decide if you're going to have employees or not have employees. And I think you could run a slightly smaller farm than we have, no employees.
Yeah.
Just do it yourselves.
Yeah, but here we have animals, chickens, and lambs. So yeah.
I think if we got rid of the animals, we could do the 160 beds by ourselves. Because Jose spends a lot of time every day moving the animals in and out of the barns, feeding and watering them. Plus our dogs. We have border collies, and they have to have
something to do.
Yes, they need to be run every day. Even though they live on a farm, Jose takes them out for a bike ride every day. So that's a commitment.
Yeah.
Our dogs are a commitment. Okay, so the second thing I want to talk about, the first thing was having a clear vision. The second thing is prioritizing the relationship. Like
just for the videos.
But you do want to make sure that your relationship is central and always comes first.
Yeah.
Every year at the beginning of the season, Jose and I say to each other, do you want to do this again?
Yeah, it's very important to be clear what do you want, what do you vision for your life, you know?
Yeah. And so every year before we start planning for the season, and this is usually in like November, right as we come out of the previous season, we are saying, is this something you want to do again?
Yeah, well, it's easy to say, yes, I want to continue right now. But in the middle of the summer...
Yeah, and in November when you're dead tired coming off the season, that's probably the best time to decide if you want to do it again. Because that's when you remember what it's like.
Yeah.
And so far, every season we've said, yes,
Yeah.
let's do this again. Another big thing is to use humor and playfulness to keep the relationship strong, because it can be very tough to want to continue or to want to be in a relationship when both of you are hot and frustrated and tired. Jose does a lot of things that are very... For instance, every time I walk by him in the summer and he's washing root vegetables, I get sprayed with the hose. Which...
What? You look like a sweaty as you need.
I need to be sprayed off. That is so sweet of you. It's so thoughtful, is what it is. But we often are yelling at each other from across the farm, just saying, "Hey, neighbor, do you want to come see my farm?" We just are very silly. We talk about our cats all the time. That's one of the things we are always making jokes about our kids, our cats. You really want to work on using we verbiage versus I verbiage. I think using I verbiage leaves one person out, and I'm really bad at that. Yeah. My sister and I just had a discussion about this, how we were raised to be very independent. So it's I, me. Mm-hmm. And I have to be careful because it's always just me at the farmer's market. So it's very easy to say I. But behind the scenes is Jose working, right? You work when I'm at the farmer's market?
I do all the time.
Yeah, you're very busy. You better be busy when I'm at the farmer's market. It is important to use inclusive language because both of us work very hard here at the farm. And it's easy to use the I verbiage. And it's better to use a more inclusive verbiage. You also want to make sure you're celebrating the wins that you're having on the farm because, you know, Jose and I started out our first season with 40 beds and we made $16,000 at market. That felt like that was so amazing in that year. Now, if we made $16,000 now, we probably would both be curled up in the bed crying.
Yeah, because on the first season, we never thought we'd be do a little money.
No, I think we were actually surprised on how well we did for just throwing stuff together. We got very lucky because it was COVID.
Oh, yeah.
It was the year after COVID. So one of the markets had completely shifted, and we were the only farm at that market. So that was huge for us because there was no other option for people to shop at the market. And then one of the other markets just had limited vendors. But they were making sure that their priority was the farms. So we got into that market, which is very hard to get into right after COVID because they were making it a priority for farms. Yeah. So I think we got very lucky. But celebrate, you know, the little wins, especially throughout the season. Sometimes you can get so run down. If you walk around a farm in the middle of season, you're going to see all the things that are going wrong, the things that haven't been picked up, the amount of weeds they are, what the bugs are eating, what is not growing the way you want it to grow. And in the heat of the summer, sometimes like things like broccoli, you wonder why you even bothered to plant it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's important to, you know, take a step back from all of that and celebrate what is going right. Because there is a lot. The beauty with farming is, especially mixed vegetable farming, is you have a lot of things going on. So something's going to go right.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you have to let it go other thing because you can't hold it all together.
And he's a lot better at letting things go than I am. I get weighted down very easily. But that's what makes us a good team, I think, is I can see where the issues lie and he can just walk right over them and not even think about them, which is good.
Probably it's good. I don't know.
It is good. It's good for me to see you work. Okay. So now we've talked about a shared vision. We've talked about prioritizing the relationship. Now I want to talk about having a clear plan. I think one of the things that having a clear plan does is it takes the responsibility for leadership away from the two people and puts it on the plan. Because that way I don't have to tell Jose what to do. The plan tells him what to do. Yeah. And at the beginning of the season, I lay out a plan for the entire season. So it starts in maybe February or March and it goes all the way until about November. I always say if it's not on the plan, it's not going to happen. Because we are so busy mid-season, sometimes we will see things that we want to do And if it isn't on the plan, it's very unlikely to happen.
Yeah.
But the plan does give us something to rely on, keeps us focused on the vision and where we're headed, and takes the responsibility off really either of us. Yes, we have to follow through with the plan, but at least it gives us structure for our day-to-day. And the other thing we do is we have usually a weekly meeting that just covers like which beds need to be prepped, what things are we going to be planting that week. And so it just helps us structure our week.
Yeah.
And, on a farm, your weeks are pretty structured anyway, because you have your harvest days, you have your market days, you have your planting days, bed prep days. So a lot of times on Mondays after I go to market, Jose has specific things he has to get done. He's prepping the beds. Sometimes he does the nicest thing and he cleans the house, which is the biggest gift for me when he does that. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Do you like having the plan and working from the plan?
Yes, because it's like a guy you follow to. You don't have to try to figure out what's going on.
Yeah. There's no, there's no having to decide week to week. It also helps Betsy, because when Betsy is here, we know exactly what needs to be planted. I don't even have to talk to her most days because she can just come in. We like to talk, so we do, but she can come in and do what she needs to do and get out of here. And I'm very much of the mindset that the faster you can get something done, let's get you out of here. Yeah. Like, no reason to stick around and be here when you can be at home, if that's where you'd prefer to be. Coffee break. Once you have the plan, the next important thing is to have clearly defined roles. Yeah. Like this way you're not stepping on each other's toes.
Yeah. When we started this farm, we used to be work together. And sometimes was working good, but sometimes not, because I want to do something in a different way and she wants to do something in a different way. So
yeah, sometimes I just have to walk away. The beauty with me is when I get angry, I just walk away. And that's not to be mean or disrespectful to Jose. It's so I don't do anything mean or disrespectful. It's just better if I take a step back. Sometimes I put myself to bed early. Yeah. When I need to put myself to bed early. But we have very clearly defined roles. What would you say, like, you're...
I am in charge of take care of animals, like chickens. Yeah.
And the sheep.
Yeah. And I do a lot of maintenance here.
Yep. All of the maintenance on the tractors, and thank goodness. 'Cause it's definitely... His skill is definitely doing those sorts of things. He's really good at it.
I take my 30 minutes for looking on YouTube.
Well, you have a good educational source.
Yeah. So I do a lot of things here, like working on the water system.
Oh, and he puts down all the water lines. He preps all the beds. Yeah. And on harvest day we even have the specific things we harvest. What are you mostly in charge of?
Carrots, potatoes, and all of those.
The root crops, radishes. Yeah, because he works on the outside sprayer, which is much better for the root crops. So I do a lot of the greens and a lot of the strange items that don't really have that aren't roots. Yeah. I don't know why I say strange, but broccoli. Beans, peas, like those are mostly on me. Yep. And Betsy thankfully does tomatoes and peppers. Oh yeah,
and she does really good job.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah, and you do mostly the planting. Yeah, plant.
Yeah, I do a lot of the planning. Yeah. Because that's like my favorite thing to do. Like you are very good with mechanical stuff. I'm very good with the planning. I also handle a lot of the membership details. So I just finished sending out all of the new member letters, and these are people that came to the booth last year asking about membership at our farm. I sent them emails last year, most of them, and then I send them another email now in January letting them know we're signing up all of our new member slots for the year. And so I take care of a lot of that while he's out doing things like plowing snow and making sure the farm is operating.
Yep, take care of the high tunnels. Don't let
we don't want them to collapse.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So being very clear on who does what can also help. And the other thing is, a lot of times I'll go out, if he's got things he needs done, I'll say, okay, you're the boss. You tell me what you need me to do. Because if I try to get involved, and I'm very controlling, I can be very controlling. I try not to. Oh God, did you have something to say? Please don't say anything.
I won't say anything.
Yeah, thank you. But I can be very controlling. So a lot of times I'll say to Jose, I might try to control something, and I just say, don't listen to me. This is yours. What do you need me to do? Because if I walk in the middle of something he's doing, I have no right to then tell him what needs to be
Same
different.
thing when she's doing her job, I can't do anything. Well, maybe I can, but...
Yeah, he can help, but it's better if one person acts as the boss. And so I think we really do a very good job. Our roles are very defined.
Yeah, and we've been learning how work separate, together but separate.
Yeah. We're always working towards the same vision.
Yeah.
So even with planting, Jose does anything that's paper pot, anything that's direct seeded, and I do most of the transplanting. So anything that's in soil blocks, I do. Mm-hmm. Now later in the season that changes a little bit because I'm doing more behind the scenes kind of things like canning and freezing and harvesting when you're still focusing on planting. People are always surprised how late we plant here, but we're still planting in October. So that doesn't end for us. Yeah,
we try every year.
Yeah. Okay, so that was number 4, is clearly defined roles. Mm-hmm. Number 5, good communication.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I have a master's degree in communication. Ooh. That doesn't mean I'm good at it. It means I know a lot about it. It doesn't mean I'm good at it. Communication is a topic that I love. I think good communication can heal a lot in relationships. So one of the things that we do is we have very regular meetings or discussions where we ask the other person if there's anything I can do to be a better partner for you, which I think is important because it opens up the door for him to be able to talk to me. And Jose comes from a culture that is very different. So we're very direct, I think, in the United States. And he comes from a culture that is probably a little less direct. Like bringing stuff directly up is not as easy. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so I really try to open up doors for him to allow him to talk to me or bring stuff up. Because I'm sure you've never noticed this if you've watched our videos for a long time, but I can be a little intense.
No.
No, you don't. Okay. Good answer. Good response. But I always want to make sure that Jose feels included, that he doesn't feel like I'm stepping on him. And so I often ask him the question, do you feel loved? Are there things I could change about my behavior that would make your life easier? He usually says no, probably because I ask him all the time these questions. But it's very important to me that he is happy in this relationship.
I'm very happy.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. 2 more points I want to bring up. The first is really have a clear idea of who you are. And I think most of us don't really see ourselves very clearly, but I think you need to know who you are in the context of a relationship, because I know I'm a morning person. So at 4 a.m., you get me up, I can get so many things done. 6 p.m. rolls around though, do not get on my bad side because now I'm tired. I'm grumpy. I'm ready to start winding down for the day, but we're still working. So I have to, and he has to know that after a certain time of day, my fuse is going to be a lot shorter. This is when I usually just say, I got to put myself to bed because nothing is getting accomplished here.
Yeah. To me, it's like I'm very slow in the morning. I don't want to work too hard in the morning. But when the day's coming up, I got my little motivation. I can keep going.
Yes, he's definitely not as early of a bird as I am. But I think that also makes us work well together because he's willing to finish up things later in the evening. So sometimes I'm already in bed before he even comes in the house, especially in the summer when it's still light out. And then I'm often out cleaning tables and sanitizing everything on harvest days so that when he gets up, we're ready to rock and roll and get the day going.
Yeah.
So I think that actually works out very well. One of us is more morning, one of us a little more evening.
Yeah. I got my coffee early in the morning.
He gets this guy gets coffee in bed every single morning of the year. There may be a couple of days where I have to leave early, he doesn't. Maybe Saturday mornings.
Yeah, thank you.
The last rule for good communication, and this is a rule I have for myself, but it's something you may want to consider for yourself as well. If I am not willing to bring something up, I'm not able to be mad about it. Because I think a lot of times we just let stuff fester and we're not willing to say anything about it. But to me, either I let it go or I bring it up. And that policy has worked out very well for me. So yeah, I think good communication is definitely key, and to set aside time that's specifically for discussing the relationship.
Yeah.
And making sure that you're working well as a team. So this leads to the thing number 6, item number 6 on our list, is to give each other a lot of grace and respect.
Yeah.
Because when you're working together 24 hours a day, you're in a relationship, you're living in the same house, you're living at your workplace, you have to have a lot of patience and a lot of grace for that other human being that is sharing your space.
Maybe a lot of coffee.
And a lot of coffee. Maybe some beer in the summer. Yeah, I think it's very important because Jose and I work very differently.
Yeah.
Our base values are a little bit different. And we have to be patient with each other when it comes to certain things. For example, we were talking, as we were writing the script for this, we were talking about how culturally different we are. And the different values we have, our work ethics are a little bit different. Now, I'm not saying like Jose doesn't work equally as hard. He works differently than I do.
Yeah.
And when I'm in the middle of doing something and I want to be focused on that and I want him to be focused on it and he's not, a lot of times I just have to let him do the thing he's doing and stay, and because it's about me. It has nothing to do with him. One of the things that I absolutely love about Jose is that he spends a lot more time taking in the beauty of life than I do. And I think that's very much a cultural difference between the two of us. I think here in the United States, we're all about get things done. And things have to be done right away. And follow the plan. It's very rigid. And I think the way he works is much more relaxed. And I think it balances me out nicely. And it's taught me a lot because I get very frustrated when things don't get done. And what's your policy?
Well, if sometimes can be done today, tomorrow will be.
Yeah, it just moves into the next day, and I will get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And what happens is when I'm overwhelmed, I shut down, and that doesn't help anybody. It's more frustrating than it is helpful. So he's taught me a lot about slowing down, staying focused, and just doing what I can get done. Because sometimes there's so many things. You look around and 10 beds need to be weeded and something needs to be harvested and crops are coming in and they need to be processed and washed and either frozen or canned or ready for market. It can be on the list can be 100 things. And if you look at all 100 things, nothing will ever get done. You'll be way too overwhelmed. So it's just about looking at the next thing.
Yeah. Farming is not it is not easy job because it's too many thing happening. And
you have to be really willing to let a lot of things go.
Yeah, I like she respect my job and I respect your job.
Oh,
yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I do. He is amazing, and when he comes in, he does things differently than me, and he's so much faster than me. When I'm planting, it takes me at least 3 times as long as it takes him. I actually get overwhelmed when he comes and plants because I'm in my little window and I'm doing my thing. And he can weed faster than any human being I've ever seen weed without hurting the plants. And he says that's because growing up, you weeded correctly and you didn't screw up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the rule. We never had to weed growing up, so
No.
there's that. Anyway, anything else?
No, I think we are good here. But if you have anything you can say in the comments.
Oh yeah,
would be
we'd
good.
love to hear. Like if you work with somebody, if you've had an issue working with somebody.
Yeah, or if you're thinking about
Starting a farm?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think as a couple, you really need to work through the details before you get started down this road. Because this could bring any relationship to its knees,
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah, we know a couple farming and.
Yeah, they're no longer farming together.
Yeah, or they sometimes they're working and other thing like no farming thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think if you're designing it as a couple, anything can work out. And there's all kinds of possibilities. You have to design it together. So just to do a quick recap, the 6 things you need to do if you want to farm with a partner. Number 1 is to create the shared vision.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, prioritize the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3 is have a clear plan
Ooh.
and know what you're going to be doing every day. To have your individual spaces for work,
Mm-hmm.
like what is going to be your role, what are you going to be good at, where are your strengths, know that. Number 5 is to have good communication, which there are a lot of books out there on doing better with your communication, videos on YouTube, learn how to be a better communicator. And then the last thing is to have a lot of grace for your partner, which I think we do.
And coffee.
And coffee. That's true. Cheers. All right, until next time. We do have some other educational videos we want to put up. So working as a couple, that was this first one. We want to do one on so you think you want to start a small farm.
Yeah.
Because I think we've learned a lot in the last 5 years that can help you if you're thinking about starting a small farm.
Yeah.
I also want to talk about how we utilize our different planters, a direct seeder, the transplanter, and soil blocking. Like what are we planting using each of those tools? Because I think as a new farmer, it can be very confusing what you need to purchase.
Yeah.
And how you should be utilizing it.
Yeah. Especially when you're starting a farm, it's like a bucket with candy. You want all this thing for you. Sometimes you don't need.
You need to know like how you're going to use things.
Yeah.
And make a plan. What do you need now? What can you get later?
Yeah.
So we're going to talk a little bit about that. And then I also want to do one on the key things you need at a farmer's market, like your toolkit if you're going to a farmer's market.
Yeah.
So those are some of the videos we have coming up that we want to work on. All right, I think that's all for today. Again, I am Mac.
And Jose.
And we are
Upper Country Farm.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What'd you think?
I think it was good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
You think it's good?
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I love you.
Just today.
Just today. Just when we're making a video about working as a couple.
Mm-hmm.